Michaela. Anthony. Nick. All those in favor of starting tonight's meeting? Opposed? Okay. So we're going to start with roll call for Joe.
Just one quick announcement for roll call. There are 3 sheets on the outer table and 1 sheet right there between all the reps. Please sign those. I will be using that to email you guys later on tonight. And for response. Yes. For elected representative. You can start your name. I know it says club name. Yeah. So I'll start with the elected representative. Sarah Murphy. Here. Haley. Maybe Carol. Stephanie. Here. Sure. Brittany. Here. Sarah.
Here. You say cab.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always say cab.
Actually, crap. Acapella.
Here.
ALD. ALD. AMS. Here. Anime.
Here.
Assist. Here. The critic. Here. Critical criminal justice. Here. Flight. Flight. Capital.
Here.
Hockey. Hold up. The ink.
Here.
LPC.
Here.
Lit. Here. LCO, Lumen Christianity.
Here.
Cycling.
Yep.
Teen Ride.
Here.
Strikers. Strikers. Ultimate. Model UN. Visa.
Here.
Outage.
Here.
Rugby.
Here.
Sigma Zeta. Sigma Zeta. Snowmobile.
Hello.
Spectrum. Here. Spirit Squad.
Here.
Lila.
Here.
Weightlifting.
Yep.
Sports broadcasting. Sports broadcasting. Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to move to the minutes, which everyone has received.
Oh. You forgot WWLS. And that's. Yeah, sure.
I know.
But here, they're also.
We're glad you're here.
Thanks.
Veterans.
Oh, Joe.
Here.
We're still on vacation.
WWLR.
Here.
Oh, really?
Brian. Now we get it.
Now we're doing over the minutes. Do we have any motion, comments? Haley?
Motion to approve the last message.
Aki? Sarah? All those in favor of approving the minutes? Opposed? Great. Now we're gonna move to student body comments.
So on February 11th, we're having, the Community Service Club is having an event called Jump Rope for Heart for the American Heart Association. We're teaming up with the event at Jump Rope for Heart. Come as a team, or you can join a team when you get there. And it's Jump Roping for a Good Cause. All proceeds go to the American Heart Association. Teams are encouraged to ask for pledges for their participation. Each team is recommended to raise $10 per person. Teams can be up to 10 people, and they can also start at 5 teams. So that is, we encourage your club to come, and that's on February 11th.
Are there any other student body comments? Okay, so we're gonna move to reports and presentations. And first we have President Joe.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. Good to see everyone. We missed you for a couple of weeks. Hope you've had a good break and a good holiday. Couple of things I wanted to take some time to share with you, things like that. First, I want to thank you very, very much for the outpouring of love and support for Holly and her family. As you know, we have lost two people this year, one student and one recent alum, both in the EJA department. It's been a very difficult time for our community. We did have the opportunity to head down to the wake, and some of you were there, and some of you also attended the funeral. And I did have an opportunity to chat at length with Holly's father and mother. I may come back to this body with a special request. I may ask for student government's support and endorsement of my request to the faculty to provide Holly with her bachelor's degree posthumously. That I would like to present to her family at commencement. So, so just know that I may find my way to come back to you to make that request and for your support in that regard. So I know that it's been a difficult time, but again, time where we as a community have come together, and I am proud of us for doing that in the way that we have. The other piece of information you should know, some of you already know this by now, Dr. Kelly Dean, the provost of the college, stepped down at the end of the semester. Earlier this week, I did not appoint a provost, but instead appointed a new academic dean, an interim academic dean, Professor Nolan Atkins, from the Atmospheric Science Department, has agreed to serve as the academic dean for the next 18 months. So we will not be engaging in a search. We're going to move right along with what we need to do as it relates to academic affairs, classes, etc. So he and Dean Anderson, Tom Anderson, will be working very closely together throughout the course of this semester and for the next several months. So I ask you to, for those of you that know Professor Atkins, please wish him well. It is not an easy job, but if you see him, please wish him well. Feel free to ask him any questions you need, and we'll be more than happy to help. And you may decide at some point that you we'd love to invite him to come as well. Enrollment is stable for this semester. Our target was 74 new students. I think we were with readmits, I think we're in the 85, 86 range. In terms of returning students, I don't know the final numbers yet. This week tends to be depending on who shows up and who returns. But I'm expecting overall will be pretty much even. And so I'm not too concerned about that. In terms of some initiatives that are happening here at the college, I'm very excited about several. Some of you have heard about them already. We rolled out this semester the Linden Flex program. Essentially, that is a program which is classes that are in the evening and weekends and that are flexible. We have about 75 of those classes this semester, so very happy about that. Particularly helpful for people who are working and some non-traditional students who would like to take classes during the evening or weekends, and obviously that helps to support all of our students in any of the academic programs. I'm also very excited, while this may not impact all of you directly, college, I signed an agreement with the Linden Institute. This has been a long time in coming. The college has not really had a working relationship with the Linden Institute in previous years. As I shared with you earlier, there's been headmaster this year, Darren Howe. He and I have been working very closely together. And so it looks like we're going to be moving forward in terms of sharing facilities, sharing resources. And in addition to that, we will be providing next year's seniors will have an opportunity to do their senior year and their freshman year at LI for free. And so they end their year having completed their freshman, their senior year of high school, their freshman year of college, and they will get their entire first year for free. If they choose to come to Linden, that's the caveat. They have to come to Linden for at least one full year in order for them to get that deal. So that is a recruitment tool for us, to win for us, to win for them. Now you can assume that the academy is now knocking on our door, and the academy in particular is interested in working with our atmospheric science program, our mountain direct program, a lot of special studies programs. And so I expect we'll sign some sort of an agreement with them in the coming months as well. So I'm really excited about that. And the third agreement that we're about to sign has to do with North Essex Community College in Massachusetts. It looks like we are going to partner with that community college and open up a satellite campus. They have students that are going to roll right into their associates in Northern Essex, and that are very interested in rolling right into our program and getting a Linden State College degree while they're in Massachusetts. Two programs that there are three programs they're very interested in: computer science, MBI, and graphic design. So there are other courses as well that are going to be part of that, but that's kind of where we're starting out. That could bring us as many as 200 students moving forward, not at this location, but that is very helpful to our enrollment, and it helps get the word out in the Boston area. And my hope is that some of those students will then decide to find their way here. Yes. Lawrence. The Lawrence campus? Sorry?
I live near the Shambles campus,
Yeah.
but I live pretty close, in the area.
The Lawrence campus, but we may be doing some things with April. And the last couple things that I'll share with you before I talk about budget, education first. In terms of education first, we are planning on having international students here. We don't have all the specifics on that yet. but we hope to have that information by March. I know this is sort of stress for my staff, but it's an exciting opportunity. Right now, we're planning on anywhere between 20 and 30 students joining us in May. We'll keep you posted on that, yes.
This is the Northern Essex.
Northern Essex Community College.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk to you a little bit about the budget very quickly. Let you know that, first, we started the year with a $1.5 million budget gap. We have closed that gap as I promised we would. Secondly, I want to make it clear so there's no confusion. We are not going into next year. It appears as though we will have a significant budget gap, about $3.1 million, which is 10% of our budget. That's based on three factors. Assuming enrollment stays flat, that the state doesn't give us any more money, and that tuition remains flat. I'm not sure any of those, don't get excited, because I don't know if any of those things are going to happen. The one thing I do know is that we're not going to get any more money, we're getting any less money from the state. That much I know for certain. What does all of that mean? Well, with a $3.1 million budget gap, we have been working for months to figure out how best to navigate that. I will share with you that any college in the northeast part of the United States is struggling for enrollment. This year, as I said, we had a $1.5 million budget gap. We actually planned for that. We had a contingency plan. Castleton has a $3 million budget gap. Johnson has a $1.5 million budget gap. BTC has a $2.5 million budget gap on top of another $5 million budget gap. So there's a lot going on there. If you haven't heard, BTC has made a decision to close some academic programs and lay off full-time faculty, full-time tenured faculty. So there's a lot going on. So to be clear, Linden State College is not closing any academic programs next year, and we are not laying off any full-time faculty. Okay. However, I expect that in order for us to balance the budget, that will mean that there may be layoffs. They may not be of faculty, but they may be of administrators and staff. I don't know that. My goal is to do everything else possible, and that would be like we can't find anything else. At the same time, I'm going to want to share that information with staff early, because any staff that are impacted, you want to give them enough time, enough lead time to look for another job. So know that we're balancing a lot of different things. I will be hosting a town hall meeting on February 4th, I believe. I'll get back to you with that. You'll see the postings for that. It'll be in this room. It'll essentially be a 10-minute report back and 45 minutes of Q&A, and then folks can ask you whatever they want. The most important thing that you can do is spread the word out in the state. We're a good place, doing good things, we have great programs, and most of our students find their way here by word of mouth. And usually once they come to visit, then we usually get them to stay. The problem is getting them to come up and visit sometimes. That's more of a challenge. That's a challenge sometimes. So I'm asking you to help us to recruit additional students. But more importantly than that, if you know of students who are thinking of transferring or who are struggling, or you yourself are thinking about that, or are struggling, before you make any decisions, please come and talk. Because I want to make sure that we keep the students that we have, and that we take care of the students that we have. And we will do everything possible to do that. I'm very proud of our Student Services Center. This entire January break, I need you to know that they regrouped entirely. That all they did was spend the break thinking about how they were going to reshape the registrar's office, how they were going to reshape student services to better serve our students. They heard the messages that you were delivering to them. Okay, that's it up. So, no, I also want you to know that I think Nolan and Tom will be working very hard to streamline the curriculum and to help you get the courses you need. We heard that loud and clear as well. And I have to tell you that there is still buzz about the college, and people are positive about it. In fact, today was a good day. I met with the gentleman, we chatted for a little while, then he got up from the kitchen table, walked over to his desk, came back and handed me a check to Lincoln State College for $50,000. Not too shabby for I had to eat some bad cake, but that's beside the point. And that's for you. And there's been a lot of those things. Our fundraising at the college, people have heard that we're facing challenges, and I need you to know both your alumni and the community is responding. We have actually increased the number of donors in comparison from this time last year by 100 donors. That is a big deal for a college of this size. I even had one man send me a note. He used to be a custodian here 15 years ago, and he said, I read in the newspaper that you need some help. I can't help a whole bunch, but here's my check for $20. That matters. It matters. People care about you. They care about the place. So the more you talk the place up, the more successful we will be. So I ask you for your help in that regard. And finally, shameless self-promotion. Anybody in class? All right, well, if you do, I'm teaching it. Look, I even have the form filled out ahead of time. Oh, here you go. Okay, all right, so anybody in class? Okay, good. Now I'll open up the floor to questions. Shameless self-promotion. Shameless self-promotion. Oh, yeah, what's that? Monday. Free credit. Leadership class. You already took it. Already was a great class. There we go. Great class, yeah. If you are interested, please let Brett know. You know Brett, so let him know, and yeah. And then you can return it to Brett. All right, questions for me? Yes.
So, with everything going on, we know that you're doing the best that you can. The struggle. Is there any way potentially to let students know about tuition increases and how much because may or may not have affected students not anticipating it?
Yeah. Well, two things. Thank you. Because first, what I will do is I'm going to have a number of student sessions, or specifically for students, to talk about the budget. Because what I need to hear is, I have been visiting. I have 40 meetings scheduled now to be at the academic department. I promised every department here that our chief financial officer and I would sit with every academic and non-academic department and talk to them about the budget and get their ideas on how to generate revenue and how to cut costs. We're going to provide the same opportunity for students. So we'll do a number of sessions. You'll be able to show up and share whatever you want to share. That's the first thing. The second thing is that on February 19th, the Board of Trustees will be here for their meeting. I expect them to make a decision on tuition at that time. Soon as I know, I will share with you that right now it's somewhere between 0 and 2.5%. That's what I think is happening. That's the best I can tell you. As soon as I have information, I will pass that information on to you, but we just don't have. Okay? Other questions? Yeah. Yes.
When we get your signature on the,
I can get you I'll find a way to even worry about it. And I'll take that form right out of your hand. Yeah.
I feel like you just mentioned the past wanting to focus on recruiting transfer students, and I know that admissions has taken initiative in the past.
Yeah.
To do so about recruiting transfers. 4 days and 10 days. I was wondering if maybe the college thought about putting together a focus group of transfer students who are here to kind of see, because there's been mixed experiences in.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Thank you for trying to sugarcoat it, but let's not. The transfer experience here is a mess. And so I anticipate that as part of, yes, while there are always budget cuts, we also need to make some investments. We have great opportunities to secure, most of our students this semester that have come in, of these 85 students, 65 of them are probably transfers. Okay, so there is an opportunity for us here. I also learned this past a few weeks back, I met with Jewish students, president of CCB, between the St. Johnsbury location of CCB and the Newport location, there are 500 students. We only need 10% of those students to make a huge impact on this institution in terms of our budget. If we're 100 students down, busload of students matters here, so we use that. I expect that what we're going to do is we are probably going to make an investment in transfer student services in some way. We haven't worked through those details, but we need a service specific, in addition, specific to transfer. That much I already know, and I can expect that will be the case. So you may find that we will reach out to transfer students to ask them for their assistance and their input as we go back. Okay. Yes. Am I interested in hearing a transfer horror story right now? I don't know. Am I interested in hearing a transfer story right now? Sure, we're here.
At the end of last semester, I learned from a professor who had an interest that the college had not recognized my associate's degree as my degree. That was a shock.
I have to give the admissions office credit, because they just did. Well,
As soon as they were made aware of it, they fixed it.
right. But let me, transferring credit has been a huge problem. So what we had the admissions office do was we actually had them chart out from application all the way through to registration, what a student goes through. I've been handed this huge chart with all of these arrows, and I was shocked at how difficult it was to navigate. I wasn't surprised, I shouldn't say I was shocked. I knew it was a problem, but to visualize it, so the result of that now has been our cutting. We're looking to cut almost half of that stuff out to streamline that entire process. And also to be able to have students within a certain number of days, if you transfer, before you're accepted, what we want to do is if you want to come to Linden and you give us your information, your transcripts in advance, we will review them within a number of days, get back to you, and tell you how many credits you would receive if you came to Linden State College. And I expect that we will roll that out in the fall. I know you have a lot of other things to cover. Yes, yeah.
You said we had a 1.5 million, or million, sorry. Big difference. And you said you put money back into that. I'm just curious how much.
We had $1.5 million budget deficit. We covered 50% of it, okay? By not filling vacancies and through efficiency, okay? We cut vacancies, etc. The other 50% we covered by taking, essentially since I've been here, I've been taking money and putting it in the bank, okay, for a rainy day, because I knew this day was going to come. It came a little faster than I had hoped, and it happened, and instead of just raining, it decided to pour all at once. So the money that I had set aside for this, we have a bunch of other reserves. We have probably total maybe $3 or $4 million in reserves. Okay? But don't get excited about that because, again, $3 million can disappear in a heartbeat. Okay? In this kind of environment, I don't know, $30 million budget. So we had about $800,000 in the bank here on campus. I took that money to balance this year's budget so that I wouldn't have to lay anybody off, we wouldn't have to close any programs. So now our focus is how do we find the $3.1 million that we need, mostly in budget cuts and other forms of revenue. I think we can get there without closing programs, without laying off faculty, but there are no guarantees that it won't mean some layoff of some kind. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how much you travel around trying to gather money.
Yeah.
Would you like to come with the best to Disney World next year? I really want you to see what goes on, because a lot of people, we have this small community, but it gets so much bigger, and there's a lot of resources out there, and I feel like
I'm assuming, let's make this clear. I wouldn't be going to hang out in Disney World.
yeah, it's exhausting.
I'm assuming you're talking about, the veterans hub.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year we had about 1,200 people, and last year there was maybe 300 or 400.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine there's going to be thousands of people. And big companies, Google was there this year. Who else? NASA was there last year. I don't know why they weren't there this year. We had Google. Some really big banks.
You can, that's always a possibility for me, you can assume. Now that, a new dean is in place, I think you can assume you do not see me a lot. I'm not avoiding you. I am out. What presidents these days do is they go out, they meet with legislators, they make sure that nobody in the state house is going to do something crazy that's going to hurt the college. But a lot of times, politicians, business people can ask for money. That's essentially what my job is these days. So if you don't see me, assume that's what I'm doing. And if you know anyone who has money, let me know, and I will be more than happy to meet them. I have a building with their name on it for $1.5 million. Nothing. I'll take your hand for $10 and get you some ice cream on the side. You know where to find me. You know how to get in contact with me. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any more questions for me. Okay?
Next we have Aaron Rossetti.
Woo!
I'm going to reiterate a little bit of what you said because I think that it's important enough to bear repeating, and that is that even in the face of a lot of tragedy that this community has felt in the last couple of months, which is way more than obviously any community should have to endure. I'm speaking for a lot of people when I say how incredibly proud we are of all of you and of the students for rallying around one another, supporting one another, respecting the circumstances as they have unfolded, and just really becoming and continuing to be an amazing, amazing community. And I know that that's one of the things that keeps me at Linden, and I absolutely love about Linden. And so I just really want to thank you all for that and say how amazing it is to see that and how incredibly proud we are of all of you. So the couple of things that I wanted to talk about tonight, the first is that I just wanted to let you know that there's a couple confirmed cases of the flu on campus, so just be aware of that. Just a reminder to wash your hands regularly, and use
cleaning wipes and different things around places where you're gonna be, door handles and all that. So just be aware of it, and just want you to kind of keep that in the back of your mind as you're navigating on campus. And if you are feeling under the weather, then to go to the Brown House so that they can check you out and see what we need to do for you as you make it through this semester. And then finally, I wanted to, Joe mentioned a little bit about EF. I just wanted to give a little bit of information. I know students have been curious about what's going on with Education First and the international students that are coming. Like Joe said, we don't have a whole lot of information in terms of specific details, but I wanted to be able to answer any questions that you had about that. So what it means for Linden is that we will have, in the summer, starting as early as May, we'll have up to 30 students, international students, moving on campus. They'll be living in the Rita Bowl complex for the summer and starting their first semester with EF. So this is kind of a program where they come and they take classes under Education First initially, and then we hope that they then matriculate into Linden and become a full matriculated Linden student. So we'll have 30 of those students, up to 30 of those students in the summer. They will be, just taking classes there, but act as a Linden student here under everything else they can go to activities. We'll be putting on events specifically for those students as well, understanding the need that they'll have for a variety of different events. And then we'll have up to 50 students that will be coming in for the fall. So all of these students will be living on campus. So you can understand that when we have up to 80 students living on campus in the fall, what that means for housing as well. So that's something that we're looking at right now. We're looking at alternative housing opportunities for current students and those students as well. So some possible off-campus opportunities for students, and I'll have a lot more information about that as we get closer to housing selection in April. But the hope is that we can come up with some great alternative ways for students to stay on campus and have all of the amenities, if you will, of being on campus, but maybe be in an alternative location and still be able to have students living on campus. So that's kind of what that looks like in a snapshot, but I know that there are a couple of questions that people had about that, so I'd be happy to take your questions. I don't know if we have all the answers to those right now, but I'd be happy to take them back and see if we can find those answers for you over the next month or two as we kind of make it through figuring out where those students are coming from. They could be from all over the world. These aren't just Chinese students. These aren't from any one location. It's from a variety of different locations from around the world. We don't know where that is yet until we get kind of a better idea, hopefully in March, because we'll need to know what those numbers are looking like when we get leading up to housing selection in particular. So does anybody have any questions about that I can answer for you, Devin?
So they're gonna come here for the summer and do the summer thing, and then if they want to come in the fall, they can.
There's actually going to be a couple of semesters that they're with Education First. So they will work on kind of 3 semesters. So they'll do fall, spring, and then summer. So they'll continue because they'll stay here. They're not going to go home over a summer semester. So I think it's 2 semesters that they're with EF. And then after that, if they want to matriculate into Linden and continue at Linden, is that right, Joe? Is it 2 semesters? Yeah. So 2 semesters, and then they can matriculate here as a Linden student.
So they wouldn't really go to the store or anything.
That's one of the things that we're looking at in terms of the orientation process that we would have for them. So right now, we have an intern working in the student life office, and one of their jobs is going to be to put together an international student handbook. And so that handbook will actually run the gamut of how do you purchase a car in this country? What are our alcohol laws? So it just runs the gamut of specifics to the country, but also then specifics to Linden as store. You can learn a lot of stuff, but you will have something to flip to and say, what does this, what does cool mean? Slang terms, or what's ASAP, what's hack, that they can go back to. Any other questions that you have? So as we get more information about Education First and specifics about that, but also housing and how that may impact housing for the fall, I'll have that for you as well in a future SGA meeting, so stay tuned. Okay. Next, Matt and Meredith are going to talk a little bit about budgeting.
All right, so this is the form you're gonna find on the linnensga.com website under financial forms. It's the budgeting form. What? Yeah, that's it right there. There we go. That's the form. All right, so for all of you that have done budgeting, it's the basic same stuff: name of club, president's name, treasurer, advisor, all the rundown. Where's school? So this is the total funds being requested. So there's a line A and a line B. We had some confusion last year, and we got line C, W, X, all the way to randomized letters. Line A means your club cannot do without it. Like, if you want to function, this is what your club needs. Line B is you would like this, but if it were to get cut, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So those are the two lines that you need to concern yourself about, A and B. A is you have to have it, B is if you don't get it, the world's not gonna end.
You can put multiple things under line A. So like someone like having, for example, you guys have a lot of stuff under line A, and that's fine. You just make sure you keep whatever you really need under line A, what you really need under line B, or what you don't really need under line B. And just because it gets cut from B doesn't mean you can't come back and ask for it next year from the SGA. So yeah, if you really absolutely need to operate, please put that in line A, because obviously budget cuts, our money comes from the number of students that we have coming on campus, and it's a projected number, so, that's where the funding for this all comes from. So just be really careful about what you really need, so that we're aware of that.
And then the rest of the form is essentially just information about your club, what you guys have done. This information just lets us know like that you're using your money, why you want the money. It's because you will have a chance to present to us, but it's the after hours thing when us and the elected representatives are sitting around and we can really look at the information and be like, okay, so I really see this is why they need it. So this information is really important for us in the sense that if you have a reason for something, we have the reasoning written down so we can bring it up and be like, okay, so they really need this for this reason. So it's really important if you have a reason behind wanting things that the information is put there.
All right, so 2 weeks from this Friday, February 6th at 4 p.m. is when the budgets are due. It says on there. You can email it just to sga.edu. If you do not get your budget, you will not be entered into you'll not be able to present, and your budget will not be considered if you don't turn it in by this day or time. Again, the turnaround's really quick for this because we have to go through the process pretty quickly because of our constitution, whatever. So if it's not on time, we can't consider it. So please go back to your club, talk about it in the next 2 weeks, and get it into us as soon as possible. Done.
Where's that form?
Haley's gonna send an email with an attached, and also have instructions on it. Done. If you go to Linden SGA, another like club and financial documents is on there as well. And that has to do all that stuff. So you can download it from there. You can download it from your email, whatever works. We'll send it to you if you don't get it for some reason. Email us. We can send it to you. So budget presentation, which is everyone is required to get, or someone from your club is required to get, will be on the following Monday, so that's February 9th. And that'll be, once you submit your budget, we'll give you a time slot for when you have to present. So,
if you're club wants X amount of dollars, like Matt said, you're gonna come present and talk to us. Again, really important for someone to do that. And if it's through a treasurer, the president, or the rep that can't go, find someone in your club that can, and that really understands what the budget is. So don't just send them with the budget and don't explain anything. But you should all be talking about that anyway, but just please make sure whoever you send to the meeting really knows and understands what they're asking for. Because the committee will have a lot of questions for them probably, and just so that you can obviously know what specifically you're asking for.
And make sure you show up to this meeting, make sure someone really does, and you stress that, because if you don't show up, you forfeit your budget. So, we won't even consider you during the meetings, because if you weren't there, then we have no knowledge of why any of it is needed. So, you're gonna make sure you have someone there. If you don't get a budget.
So keep your eye on emails, around, like pretty much a copy of the budget, that has the schedule ready by the end of the day. So watch for that, so you know what time you're coming, so that you can be there. Elected representatives, front group, you all are part of the budgeting committee, and so, and responsible, you have to do that for it. So you're essentially the ones that are supposed to get the presentations, and then on the 11th, which is the non-SGA Wednesday, at the same time, you're doing the meeting, are the budget discussion. So this group, you guys all discuss as a group, where we need to make cuts every year we have to, so, just kind of talking about that, and what we need to do, and eventually we'll get a magic number called from, the business office that will know what number we put up to, so you all can plan.
And the time for the, meetings, what time we have to be there, and also for the discussion.
So the presentation will, each club will get a specific time, but they'll start, we have the room right at 7, so 7. Yeah, and then the budget discussion is at 8 p.m. So that's like the normal SGA time, not SGA Wednesday.
Meetings, right?
Huh? Oh, that's the exact number. But we'll send you this email. So.
There's gonna be an email with the date.
So yeah, it's either the things that are good, you don't have to do it. Yeah.
Is there some sort of a process that in place for a club that's gonna have a goal of what they're doing with the school and community after deadline? Okay, most of what we're doing as a club is happening after all your deadlines, you know, people before you plan yet, because there's some sort of way of being like, you know what I mean?
Are you saying like to say what you're going to be doing essentially on the form?
Yeah.
I don't know specifically if there is, I'm not 100% sure, but you can write that down. If there's something you're planning for the year, just put down bottom, like you're planning to do such and such.
Because you won't know how it goes, obviously, but there's some sort of way of kind of gauging the, I guess, how relevant that is and how that would make us be able to get the money that we asked for, even though it hasn't happened yet.
I think as long as you put down, like if you really feel necessary to put down a plan, that's perfectly fine. Most of us have been here for years. We know how clubs have done, how they're going to do, and definitely we'll take anything into consideration that you put down. So if you feel it's necessary, write whatever you feel necessary down.
Just remember, this is your budget for next year, so 15, 16 years, so none of the money is stuff for each plan.
Two questions. I was just wondering if whose responsibility it is to do the budgeting?
It should be your whole club, so it's up to your club to discuss it, and then someone from your club, you guys can decide who would.
Yes.
Okay, so it could be your treasurer, it could be your president, it's kind of up to.
I was just wondering if there was actually like a specific, if it was specifically the treasurer's job or.
Some clubs do designate it that way. It's really up to you.
And also another one, for activities, would that include fundraisers as well?
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, I would encourage you to include fundraisers and stuff like that. I think there's even a question about that.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Next up, we have discussion action
new executive board a full semester with me in case they run into any troubles and get some training. So I'd like to become a counselor for this last semester because I'm not completely done with SGA and would like to continue on if that's okay with you guys. Anyone have any questions?
Does anyone have any motions? Haley?
Motion to move to
True.
Stephanie? All those in favor of moving to discussion? Opposed? If you could please leave her, Megan.
Jordan, you asked me the question I'm prepared for.
Haley?
I think that Megan has been a very active member of the SGA, and I think that she has always really cared about what her club thinks, and I think that she'll do a fantastic job with her class, so I would like to motion to accept her pass.
Beth?
I'll second that.
Spectrum? All those in favor of electing Megan as a representative? Opposed? Passed. Now get your seat on this side. Okay, next is other business. I have a little list of things, so bear with me. First, all the budget information that we went over tonight, we'll have little reminders in an email that Joe is going to shoot out with the dates and everything, the times. After we get all of the budget applications, we'll send an email out with time slots, asking if there are any time restrictions for clubs. If there are restrictions that your club has, make sure you tell us, so we give you a slot that your club can make it to. Also, as far as the voting goes for the constitutional amendment that Mark brought up last semester, we didn't receive enough votes yet. So what the executive board has decided to do is to right now end the voting and to bring it back up in Constitution Committee. So the change, we will make sure that during Constitution Committee, it is something that we do talk about and that we vote on again. We really did try to get the votes, and we had voting open, and we still had it open in the office. But it just didn't seem like students were engaged, or not enough people really knew about it. So we're just going to bring it up in Constitution Committee. And then we have a town hall February 18th, where all of you are required to be there unless you have work or class. This will be sent out in a reminder email, the date and the time. February 18th, 1 to 3 p.m. The 3 p.m. is tentative. If we don't have a lot of students there, it'll end earlier. But the executive board is going to give a short presentation, and the town hall is for SGA to kind of present ourselves to students, tell them what we do, and students who either can't or don't want to come to a meeting like this, it's their time to tell us what they would like to see from us or what they would like to see from the college and ask us, how do we do things for them? So it's like Joe having a town hall for Linden, but us specifically targeting students and what they want. And then also we have a faculty staff mixer with SGA for us to be able to reach out to faculty and staff, since we're the connection to people in higher positions at this college to the students. That we are expecting you to be there, but you're not required. And that's going to be February 19th. That's a Thursday during the free period, 12:30 to 1:30. Again, if you have a confliction with a class, let me know, but we would really, really like you to be there, and we expect that you are. And as I said, with the next agenda, you'll be getting all these reminders of the dates and the times and everything. Does anyone have any questions about those? Okay, here, did you have something?
Okay, I have a couple things quickly. So Senator Bernie Sanders is coming to campus in a couple weeks, so 16th of February. They're looking for people to sit in on a panel to discuss different topics that are related to students. So some of those topics are women's issues, student debt, climate change, and big money in politics. And there's specifically a lot of students who are interested. If you have another topic, you have to be able to discuss that as well. So I'm gonna pass these around, so if you're interested in like seriously participating in the panel, please sign up. And I will pass your information on to the people that are working on it. Either way, you can come to see them, but you don't have to be on the panel if you don't want to. Another thing, some of you have the little leadership conference handouts in front of you. Please take them back to your clubs with you. If you need more, let me know. I have you later as well. Leadership conference is on the 7th, so it's in a couple weeks. And we have students coming from all 5 of the Vermont State Colleges, University of Vermont, Champlain College, Marshall College, Green Mountain College, College of St. Joseph. So it'd be really good to have a stronger religion presence, because right now a lot of the people that are attending are our age, so it's going to be there. So the more student leaders we can get, the better. A lot of your peers will be presenting as well, which is exciting. So please come, even if you don't want to go, take this floor back so that your club knows about it as well. Haley.
Why does the one not work on Facebook? Like I tried to.
Right, those are on the portal. If you copy and paste it, it'll work. I don't know why you didn't work. I don't, it's like lots.
I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, I tried to do it. But it was a major conference, it's on, so there's a QR code on there too, it's really easy to register. I also sent an email out to you guys about like room requests, all that kind of stuff, so if you need to reserve your room for next semester, you're gonna do a merit you do so. And then this semester, just because you won't have your state room like you did last semester, they don't hold your room there. And, do you have any questions about anything? Thank you. Woo! One more thing, we still want people to join the spring day committee because we have a very small group right now. We want everyone to be involved because we want to make it even better than last year. So,
How do we sign up for that, Haley?
you email Ashley and tell her you're very interested, and she'll tell you when we're going to meet.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom. Alrighty, club and committee updates, and we're going to start over there with Drew.
All right, so for clubs, when you guys are sending out your poster approvals, please send them to me, andrew.perry@lsc.ac.edu. Make sure that has the appropriately in state SGA logo on them somewhere. Thank you.
So first off, welcome back. And for events coming up for CAB, tomorrow night in the theater at 9 o'clock, we have a contortionist coming. His name is Jonathan Burns, and that's performance will be tomorrow night in the theater at 9. Friday, we have our 90s trivia, was rescheduled to this Friday in here at 9 o'clock. You can form teams of 2 to 6 people. Come in, test your knowledge about 90s trivia, win some cool prizes. And then this Sunday, we will be featuring the movie Fury in here at 6 o'clock. And then starting Monday, January 26th, we will be starting our winter week. The first year we have had a full week of events. So on Monday the 26th, we're going to have ice skating at the Fenton Chester Arena at 9 o'clock. Tuesday the 27th, we have iFaces phone cover party in the Student Center from 11 to 2. So if you want to decorate some phone cases. And then later that night, we will be featuring the movie Dear White People in the theater at 9 o'clock. Wednesday, January 28th, at the pool. So right across from the Shake Gym, or the Bowl Gym, excuse me. We're gonna have a tiki pool party in the pool, and it's gonna be at 8 o'clock, so that'll be fun. And then Thursday, January 29th, we have Miss and Mr. Linden in the theater at 7:30. It's the second year we're doing Miss Linden. And tomorrow night, there's actually an information meeting. Janai?
We're also looking for 2 more contestants to run for Miss William. So we know people who are interested in encouraging to come tomorrow, or me from the so that we can get done information as soon as possible. And just so you guys are aware, it is going to be different this year. There will be a scholarship people will be competing for, as well as a crown. I'm really excited to say that. So, if people are interested, just let them my way, and I'm here to help them do like a long way to do our stuff.
So yeah, again, that's Thursday the 29th in the theater at 7:30. And then Friday we're going to have a pep rally in the theater lobby at 8 o'clock. Saturday the 31st, tailgating party in the theater lobby at 11 a.m. And Sunday, February 1st, in here, Super Bowl party, Patriots versus Seahawks. So we're gonna have a Super Bowl party in here at 6 o'clock tonight.
There's gonna be beer, volunteer for people, volunteer on others. And we'll be serving coffee. And just so you guys know, for once a week, all of the events are free for you guys to attend and to staff and staff. And if you guys have friends who you would like to invite, please welcome them. The pep rally, just so you guys know, all of the spring sporting teams will be there. We encourage you guys to come because, we really want everybody to get spirited, and something that we're working on with staff is developing a student, section. So we'll be handing out t-shirts that day, so anytime you go to any sporting event, we ask that you wear that t-shirt and cheer on the team. So make sure you come check it out for your t-shirt, and then the next day, there will be a doubleheader for the women's basketball team against Johnson State, so you wear your t-shirt there, as well as get decked out with all the green and gold stuff you want.
Yeah. And then just two more quick events. Tuesday, February 3rd is Vermont Day in the Student Center from 11 to 2. So come check that out for some Vermont local stuff. And later that night, we'll be featuring movie Big Hero 6 in the theater at 9 o'clock. And check out lincolncab.com for all the events for this semester. And if you're interested in coming to general board meeting, Tuesdays, it's at 2:14, and we're now meeting at 6:30 p.m.
As I said, SAC is working with CAP for the pep rally on Friday the 30th, and then for the game on Saturday. Over break, SAC has also have LSD become an official Special Olympic college, which means we'll be working a lot with them in the coming future. And part of that, in March, we're going to be holding a campaign to spread the word to N-word, which is a campaign to stop people from using the derogatory term.
The Assist Club is doing their annual Rural Edge Night in the Park. The date for that is to be decided. They're also doing the LSC Color Vibe 5K on April 25th, and then Green Up Day May 2nd.
All right, on behalf of the LSU Weightlifting Club, welcome back. I'm hoping that some of you have some New Year's resolutions that you want to fulfill. Maybe you want to gain some muscle and come with some weight with us. That'll be taking place Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I know it's early, but it's totally worth it. Getting there is half the battle, and the rest is just lifting the weight. So please come. We did have a lot of people this morning. However, most of them were exercise science majors. This club is not exclusive to exercise science majors, so everyone from every major should come. We had a few music business majors, a few criminal justice, but some XSC is in the midst in that club. So please come. You guys, we're getting into individual program design, so eventually we will actually start tailoring programs to you and making it so you are doing the exercise that you need to and want to do. So please come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 o'clock in the morning. Hi. So the radio station is having a general meeting tomorrow, and I believe it's in this room. But if you haven't got an email, I'm sending another one tomorrow. If you want a radio show, come to this meeting tomorrow at 8. There'll be lots to discuss and be great.
Rugby, we have Snow Bowl coming up March 14th. I think we went like 6 colleges, men and women. We've already had like 3 confirmed that are coming. It's very pretty big this year. Yeah.
I was going to have our first meeting this semester
concert on Monday at 9 o'clock in Hack. And keep your eyes out on Facebook for the event page for Brody 11 coming on February 6th.
We start to have our first meeting next Tuesday, May 2nd, at 7:30 p.m. And we're going to be talking about a lot of big stuff coming up. We're looking at starting, or actually probably going to be starting a new initiative with Downtown Art. And in the same Johnsbury to provide workshops once a month for 6 months as part of a substance abuse program. So we'll be providing workshops on songwriting, sound engineering, things like that for students. And then we're also working with veterans in the Mother Rail Jam to work on that this year, live music, live entertainment for that. So along with the Veterans Club working with MISA this year for the Muller Rail Jam and an introductory event for that weekend. It's going to be really exciting. We also just got a whole bunch of new furniture and hopefully by the middle of February we'll have a fully furnished Veterans Lounge, which is Black 342. None of you know if there's veterans wandering around, meandering, wondering where we are. Please wander in that direction. It's right across from the library, practically. We take it easily. We just got back from Texas. It was awesome. Like I said, last year there was about 300-400 people at the conference. This year there was a little over 100. The vice president came. He had a really awesome speech, and I thought I knew what to expect when I was coming into it, but it was just an amplified experience, and we got so much out of it. It was great. So I think the SGA and the school for setting up. And something else. Nothing more to say, though. Move on.
Society has no updates. We've got upcoming auditions for Hair, January 26th at 7 p.m. in this building. And then the 27th in the theater. Same time, we are looking for actors, dancers, musicians, or tech persons. The Murder Mystery Dinner is going to happen Saturday, March 14th. If you're interested in helping or signing up, contact Tyler or Bianca. And our next general club meeting is February 12th.
Cycling clubs still riding once a week, go up for more rides.
Snowmobile Club has its first meeting next week, and the riding season since December 15th, it goes until the middle of April. So we have a few months of snowmobiling and stuff to go.
Criminal Justice Club will have its first meeting Monday at 12:30 in the Reed Bowl second floor area, just informational.
So welcome back, we are running down soon, we only have 2 games left, February 1st is away, and our upcoming season is senior against, Thompson, at 8 p.m.
And as part of the practice of setting our store conference, we have 6 through 8 for Saratoga University, our demonstration study.
For modeling one, we have a meeting tomorrow, nothing more than commissions or
Albrecht has run off a, but I do want to, James Rock is, well, I haven't heard it yet. James Rock is sponsoring, snow touring, Tuesdays at 12:30 p.m. in, the Schaefer Method. We have snow shoes there in March, so if you ever thought of snow shooting or have snow shoes yourself, and, please, you're ready 12:30 to 1:30 on Tuesdays, feel free to come on. I went out this past week, it was
sounds weird, but that's what I thought. And basically, if you want to audition, please contact me. Our audition will be February 2nd, and hopefully you can get stuff like that. Yeah. So, if you have an audition, we got to have everyone. Okay, I was actually tomorrow, and we're going to schedule a time for a new series that we're doing called Groups Investigating God, and we're really excited about this because we started for all the people who don't want to come to our club, who are agnostic or who are angry atheists, or who are scared of religion. And it's really just a chance to get together and talk about faith and talk about spirituality and to not talk at people. So, I hope to see you there and update when we start to work on things.
Are non-angry atheists allowed?
Yes, obviously.
I couldn't help myself.
Well, future class like that, we try to just free and student faculty, and curriculum or whatever you want. So, that'll be all.
Sarah. Haley.
Okay, so really hard, but I have something to say. So the class of 2016 lost their client. I'm sorry. They lost a beautiful member this week. Of our class. She was very hardworking, always dedicated, never showed how much pain she was in. And President Joe's proposal to give her degree was probably the best thing I heard today. It's been very hard. Freshman year, we didn't get a graduation band. When survey was really hard, we had said that we would be together, walk across the stage of graduation together. And, we mentioned she was going to be there. It was really hard for me, and to hear that President Joe ended up giving her a degree. Was something that I really 100% supportive of, and I would do everything in my power, to make sure that that happens. And I hope that you all go and talk to your clubs and tell them about how great she was and how great a person she was and how caring and loving of every single person, every single member of this community she was. One of the quotes that she always said, and it was one of my favorite quotes, and it's kind of been keeping me going, is it's just a bad thing, it's not a bad thing. I also lost somebody too this year. Who was graduating, who was supposed to graduate this year, and he had an accident. And he had died in 22 years. I worked with him on school projects and things, and he was just one of those people that were friends with everybody. And I would like to tell I'll just never forget that. Because people around you said too, like, and you don't even know it. I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. I'm so sorry. That's fine. I'm glad you said everything that you said because you meant it. It was pure like passion about everything you said.
I want to repeat something that Joe said earlier about how London's such a great community because now I'm getting emotional.
Sorry, everyone.
I think many of us, if not all of us, have experienced losing someone very close to us, or even losing someone who we knew really well. And so I just want to take this moment to kind of reflect on those people who we've lost and just appreciate how much they meant to us and how much we value the people around us and how much they've supported us. And that I think this group of people is a great group of people because even if we don't know each other very well, at some point or another, someone in this room has supported the other. And it's times like these where we really need groups like this who can go to each other, even if they don't know each other very well, and just say, hey, I need some support. And I think it's great that we live in a community where we can do that, where we can walk up to someone who we pass by and at least say hello to. They just make us smile by saying, you know, some corny joke that we came up with at SGA. Like a few weeks ago, last semester, when there was a yik yak about there being an orgy. Or making sure that non-angry atheists were allowed. But it's nice to have a small community, especially in SGA, where we can go to those people and say, hey, do you remember that time in SGA when this happened? And especially through a hard time like this, being able to go up to someone and cheer them up, or have someone do the same for you when you're going through a rough patch like this. So I just want to say, like, it's great that we have this group, and I really appreciate all of you. And that someone will always be there for you, even if you don't think that you're very close to them. Do any of the other elected reps have any other?
I just wanted to say, I'm usually Monday through Friday, I'm in the 5342 from 9 a.m. till about noon, if anyone wants to come in. I mean, it was hard on all of us. She was awesome. Yeah.
Just do it. Like, every rant that hit me hard, I was there that night and everything. And we helped you really get through it. And at his funeral, when his best friend gave the eulogy, never goodbye, just be there.
Yes. I talked to Holly, which is weird, which is really weird, like I'll kind of, because I still feel her around me, I can still like hear her laughing, and I see somebody with like bright hair, and I'll be like, Holly, is that you? But it's not really. And it's really, really hard to lose her, but I know she's always with me, and I know she'll be with me every step of the way, everything that we had planned. I know she'll always be there with me. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for making everyone cry.
I'm going to open up the opportunity for anyone who's close to Holly or Newbert. If anyone wants to stay behind the meeting and just talk or wants to say something, then I'm going to offer the opportunity. If anyone wants to stay after the meeting. Okay,
For a motion to the end tonight's meeting.
yes, okay. LCL. Beth.
You know.
Call. All those in favor of ending tonight's meeting? Opposed? Have a great night, guys. We have